We live in a time where comfort is glorified like a trophy. Everything around you is built to make life easier, faster delivery, endless entertainment, dopamine on demand. You can get food without cooking, validation without effort, pleasure without purpose. And for most men, that's enough. They get hooked on the illusion that comfort equals success. But comfort is the modern trap. It's the silent killer of ambition, discipline, and masculinity. Comfort makes you forget what it feels like to fight for something. It sedates you. You stop growing, you stop pushing, you stop feeling that hunger in your gut that drives you to become more. Every time you hit snooze instead of getting up early, every time you scroll instead of studying, every time you choose pleasure over progress, you make yourself weaker. Not physically, but mentally. You start training your mind to avoid pain, and that's the beginning of decline. See, growth doesn't come from doing what's easy. Growth comes from struggle, from pressure, from pushing past limits. The gym hurts, building a business is stressful, saying no to distractions feels uncomfortable, but that's the exact point it's supposed to be hard. Every time you embrace discomfort, you're telling your brain, I control you, you don't control me. That's where power begins. The problem is, comfort disguises itself as happiness. It whispers you deserve rest. Even when you haven't earned it, it tells you you're doing fine, when deep down you know you're not, and slowly it drains your fire. You stop dreaming big because dreaming big means risking failure, and failure feels uncomfortable. You stop working on yourself because the world around you doesn't demand it. But that's why most men today are lost. They've built lives that look good but feel empty. The truth is, the men who rise, the men who lead, build, and win, are the ones who willingly step into discomfort. They chase resistance because they know that's where strength is born. They don't let emotions dictate their actions. They do what needs to be done, not what feels good. That's the difference between average and great. If you want respect, if you want power, if you want freedom, you have to earn it by walking through the fire. Because comfort will never make you strong, it will only make you forget what strength feels like. Weak men spend their lives pointing fingers. They always have someone or something to blame: their parents, their past, their circumstances, the system, the economy. They find comfort in excuses because excuses make failure feel justified. It's easier to say, it's not my fault, than to face the truth that you're not doing enough, but that mindset kills progress. The moment you start blaming others, you hand over your power. You give away control of your life and convince yourself that you're a victim of your environment. Strong men understand something deeper: life isn't fair, and it never will be. But fairness doesn't matter. What matters is ownership, the ability to look in the mirror and say, everything in my life is a reflection of my choices. That's strength, because when you take responsibility, you take back control. You realize that every setback, every loss, every failure is a lesson, not a curse. You stop asking why me, and start asking what can I do about it. That single shift in thinking changes everything. Blaming others is emotional weakness disguised as logic. It gives you a temporary sense of relief, but long-term it keeps you stuck. Responsibility, on the other hand, is uncomfortable at first. It forces you to confront your flaws, your laziness, your lack of discipline. But once you own it, you become untouchable, because now, no matter what happens, you know you can adapt, adjust, and overcome. That's how strong men are built, not through comfort, but through accountability. Weak men rely on luck, strong men rely on themselves. Weak men wait for opportunities, strong men create them. When you take responsibility, you stop waiting for someone to fix your life. You realize no one's coming. No mentor, no government, no miracle. It's all on you. That's a terrifying thought for most, but it's also the most freeing. Because once you understand that you are the cause, you also become the solution. So, stop blaming, stop looking for someone to rescue you. Own every mistake, every failure, every shortcoming, and use it as fuel. That's where power lies. The world doesn't reward men who complain about their problems. It rewards men who solve them. Weak men blame, strong men build, and the moment you decide to take full responsibility for your life, you stop being weak. The world may pretend it values softness, passivity, and endless comfort, but when things get hard, everyone turns to the masculine. Because deep down, people crave strength, direction, and certainty. The world rewards the masculine because masculinity is what creates order out of chaos. It's the energy that builds, protects, and leads. Yet today, society tries to shame men for being assertive, disciplined, and ambitious. But the truth is, the world still respects men who stand firm when everyone else collapses. Masculinity isn't about dominance or aggression. It's about control over yourself, your emotions, your impulses. It's about having a mission that's bigger than pleasure, a purpose that pulls you forward even when life gets brutal. Weak men chase comfort, masculine men chase challenge. They know fulfillment doesn't come from doing what's easy, but from conquering what's hard. When a man channels that strength with purpose, he becomes unstoppable because he's not reacting to life, he's directing it. The masculine man doesn't crumble under pressure, he thrives in it. When things fall apart, he becomes the anchor. When everyone panics, he stays calm. That's why the world respects him, because he brings stability where others bring chaos. The masculine energy builds empires, protects families, and sets standards. It's not about suppressing emotion, but mastering it. Real strength isn't loud or boastful, it's quiet, grounded, and consistent. It's the man who wakes up early, does what needs to be done, and doesn't need applause to keep going. But here's the reality: the world doesn't owe you respect just because you're male. Masculinity must be earned. It's built through discipline, responsibility, and resilience. You can't fake it, you have to live it. You become masculine by keeping promises, by pushing yourself when it's uncomfortable, by showing up every single day even when no one's watching. The world notices that kind of man not because he demands respect, but because he commands it through his actions. So, when people say masculinity is outdated, remember this: civilization itself was built by men who embraced it. Roads, cities, technology, security, all of it came from men who refused to be weak. The world may talk down masculinity, but it still runs on the backbone of strong men. Be one of them. The world rewards those who lead, protect, and build, not those who hide, blame, or quit.